man. What up, folks? What up? What up? What up? Doing the live on the night, man. What's up? How the people, man? How the people doing today? Hope everybody had a great holiday. Hope everybody came into to the rest of the week reaching for their goals, man. Yak Chicago's finest. This is what we do, man. Appreciate everybody that taps in with us, man. We take none of that for granted. Man, I had a couple different videos I wanted to actually touch down on. I'm still gonna do them. That's not even a question. I'm still gonna do them. But this one right here, man, JoJo Capone, one of the Chicago double OGs, come out of that second generation that I came out of. Well respected, man, and he's done some of the good things, some of the bad things in the hood, in the streets, and in the industry. So you know what I mean? But JJ's well respected. I mean, JoJo's well respected, man. So you gotta salute that brother. And I'm like, man, I like to see him when he come out and get to talking about crib. I said, man, we have a lot of people have an opinion about how Chicago is. They going off of today. You know what I mean? They going off of what's going on in Chicago today. But that's not the full, you know what I mean, everything about Chicago, man. There's some of us, man, that came up in that era. But Chicago was very well respected. We carried ourselves in an appropriate manner. We stood on certain principles and codes that, man, that defined us, that made us who we was. You know what I mean? Shit, and JoJo not active, but JoJo come from that same tree I came from, that growth and development by way of gangster disciples. So it's a lot of us that came up in that era in Chicago, man, where we carried that correctly. That meant something to us, you know what I mean? We were just out here on no GDK, BDK bullshit, looking to just blast some ops and shit. That wasn't what it was created for. And it was so good to see JoJo on that today and represent that, man. He got on Sean Cotton. Sean Cotton, you know what I mean? He was interviewing Tuka's mom. He was making a point, man, like, bro, you got the picture of this shorty throwing up pitchforks. When it's everybody that told you, everybody that dressed, that kid wasn't a gangbanger, man. Tuka was not a gangbanger, but he couldn't help that. Duck, you know what I mean? Reese, all them cats was who he grew up around. Billionaire Black, you know what I mean? All them dudes. So in Chicago is different from other cities, man. It's like when you don't have to gangbang, but you're always gonna be affiliated to what area you grew up in. And that's mandatory. That's real serious. It's like you're not forced upon that, but it's like, man, especially when I was coming up, when JoJo was coming up, GDs, BDs, and Blackstone, this shit was looked at into a different light, man. We was respected on a different level. These shorties now, it's not the Chicago we grew up in. So they so renegade, they get the spotlight put on them. And it's this black eye they got over Chicago right now. But it's still some real G's that came from that motherfucker that still stand firm, live by that 12 real heavy. You know what I'm saying? And don't even attempt to think about being violated because we came up real G's for real. And I love seeing JoJo there, man. And he giving props. He giving all the trenches, True Teller, 16 shot him, you know what I'm saying? What's the other cat? I grew up in Old Block. I should have been that last one, you know what I'm saying? On some real shit, but it's like, man, I just shot him a couple joints because, man, he come from the same spot I come from, and I never, over the years, it was a whole bunch of people that he dealt with, that I dealt with, they mingled together. Man, that brother paths just never directly crossed, and everybody always said they should have, you know what I mean? Global gangsters was, man, that was some real shit, you know. Chicago cats represented that to the fullest, all over different cities around this country. Same thing I was doing, but I was just on a whole nother chip with some whole nother brothers. So it's like, man, I want to salute JoJo. As he letting it be known, like, man, y'all be talking trash about how the kids in Chicago killing, how this rap music, man. It's a lot, man. Don't nobody condone the bullshit. Chicago cats don't condone them little niggas shooting old folks, shooting females, shooting babies. We don't condone that shit. But it's like, man, at the same time, we pick our spots where you gotta express the real. Cause man, we stand on certain shit, and I respect JoJo because he ain't never lose. It's more confidence about himself. He ain't never lose. It's his way that he gonna demand being respected by a man, by niggas in the streets, by the police, by man, by anybody with any type of authority. Gonna come respectable, but you're not gonna carry me where you override your authority. Them badges don't give you no authority to override me and take my manhood. That's not what the fuck that means, man. And there's some of us, man, that live by that, willing to die by that, but also willing to kill by that. If you're gonna violate me, and I ain't deserve to be violated, man, I'm defending myself at all costs, man. You see Charleston white them on here, Chicago niggas can't fight. All they do is not to shoot the ox, kill another black man, man. That's the Chicago you looking at today. That era of Chicago where I came up in the late 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, man, we came up throwing them balls, man. We came up throwing them hands. We was known to give niggas pumpkin heads with our fucking hands. So don't get it twisted like this Chicago that everybody's promoting and saying right now is the just of it, because it's not, man. There's still some real dudes out here that represent it correctly, stand on it correctly, and always go speak up for their city and where they from in that city, no matter where they at or who the fuck talking about it. You know what I mean? And Chick, he is one of them. JoJo, one of them. You know what I'm saying? And so is Jack Chicago's finest, one of them second generation growth and development brothers out of the organization, out of the mob, that carried it correctly, grew up the proper way, and but still elevated his man, himself as a man. It didn't lose to nothing but bang it, man. Nah, if you go by the motto of what these organizations was produced for and presented for, and how they was represented, man, it was to uplift the people and protect our community, make sure don't no sucker dudes step in our community doing sucker shit to our women and kids, or we got to eradicate them and evacuate them up out of here. We live by that, man. We live by that, man. You had to honor that. You went to jail, you had to go to jail, and man, you had to produce that. You had to produce the information that's in your brain talking about you can claim something. These dudes now, man, they claim GD, BDK, all that bullshit. They ain't got to answer to nobody. Just walk out, grab a rag, grab a head, say that's what they is. Man, it ain't work like that in my head. You had to prove that's what you was. And man, you had to, and if you was on some flim bullshit, false flagging bullshit, you know, people that you know what I mean, lying that you represent, they gonna be the ones swear your temples up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, I salute, you know what I mean, JoJo Capone, man, for stepping out and speaking up for our peoples, man, because like he said, Charleston White, he uplifts Sheena, Mama Duck. He uplifts Sheena because he wound up building a relationship and a rapport with Sheena, so he uplifts her. But then like King Von mom, Tookie's mom, Tuka's mom, he disrespects them, and you know what I mean, all the SMDs, King Yellow, on the man, the SMDs, man, come on, bro. We ain't come up doing that. We ain't come up saying that. That's the type of stuff a real Chicago do to kill you behind, man. Not just saying that, but kill you behind that. But you go further east, that's more of a slang. But man, a Midwest dude don't look at that as no slang. A West Coast dude don't look at that as no slang. And to be really ready to go all crash all the way out behind it, because I ain't gonna never tell you that, bro. If I respect a man, I ain't gonna never tell no man nothing like that, you dig? Because I know if I do tell you something like that, I'm prepared to take it to wherever it goes with me and you. And when you disrespect a man to that level, there's no sense of how far of the violation he's supposed to present to you. Because, man, you did some shit to him that he'll never do to you. You know what I mean? He out there, man, in that same mob, man, and stand on it, man. So I had to, man, that's the Chicago legend, the Chicago double OG from the low end, the Ida B. Wells, but you know what I mean? JoJo, bro, 35th Estate, wild, baby, all day. I'll let you boy. I just still some real ones out here, man. You know what I mean? Still some real ones out here, man. How y'all like the little background, young? My wife, he got me like, man, it's my money tree. She trying to, you know what I mean? I'm gonna have my little green thumb. I'm going to back up, put me Put that nice little bud tree up in there too, though. And this my man, it's my little home, it's my homie right there. So I got my little trinkets and shit, you know what I mean? Set my little scenery up, man. But I had to tap in on that one, man, because gotta represent the shop, man. That's the crib no matter what, bro. No matter what. Still love my home. I'm still always pushing to better my home. Still trying to push the knowledge of bettering the young man. They're opening their mind up to, man, you ain't got to assassinate your own people all the time, man. Stop looking in the mirror and being disgusted with what you see. And then when we look at the other brothers, man, we looking at ourselves and we disgusted with our own self, man. We gotta shake that shit off. Lose that slave mentality, man. For real. Chicago's built on that, and they're so used to throwing so many stumbles in the road for you to keep tripping and repeat cycle, man. That's why the hell I had to get up out of there, because, man, my mental traveled too far for you to keep trying to carry me like I'm supposed to be some down south fool, one of them down south niggas that don't know nothing. I can't carry myself like that to make you feel better. No, I'm not going to do it. I refuse to do it. You can wait to save your fucking breath if you expected me to do it, man. I ain't check out none of the comments. I know, man, I got to go get my contacts tomorrow, yo. For real, man. Who up there, I'm going to check it out before I leave. Everybody who up in here, man, I appreciate it, though. Real shit. Man, but that's, man, JoJo Capone. Y'all get a chance, go check that interview out. He checking Sean Cotton for coming up with, out all the pictures, you got 4 or 5 pictures, you got them took her. Why the picture you would display on your platform is the picture him throwing up pitchforks, so-called dissing the old block dudes, you know, you know what I mean, the 600 dudes that they don't truly get along with today. So, you know what I mean, you could have picked another picture that represented that young man a little better than putting a black eye on him as being a little nigga who wasn't shit, because he did gangbang. That was a little sharp little dude. He was funny, and he liked to mac down on the ladies. But ducking them just happened to be his people. He ain't gangbang, man, but he live in a GD neighborhood. He gonna throw the wax up. You know what I mean? But that, he wasn't out there sliding on nothing, busting nothing, man. They gunned that kid down, waiting on the bus stop, just because of a fight between Old Block and them niggas over there on 63rd, man. And that got this whole situation today still in this blender. Still, man, everybody trying to get some get back. You know what I mean? Like, man, and all we doing is get some lost doctors, lost police officers, lost judges, lost district attorneys. You know what I mean? Lost maintenance men, lost truck drivers, man. Stop pushing what these kids can be, man. Stop telling them what they can't fucking do. It's hard in Chicago, you know what I mean? It really is. Chicago's a difficult place to, if you don't have it, it's hard to gain it and try and come up on it, you know what I mean? So, but it's not impossible, though. We got to quit trying to say, like, man, that shit ain't doable. Anything's doable, man, as long as you get fucked up in the morning. Real. So, man, I appreciate everybody tapping in, man. I just had to salute JoJo, man. I sent you some things, JoJo, and IG, man. I hope you get it. Reach back out at your boy, 215-19 all day. Your man needs some aid and assist, baby. Holla back. Holla at your boy. That's enough said right there. If it get to you, do what it do, baby. So, man, everybody that tapped in, man, I appreciate it, you know. I'm going to give y'all a shout out. Definitely going to get some love in the comments, man. Yeah, Chicago's finest all day. Appreciate everybody that taps in with me. Appreciate everybody that stay consistent, supporting me, man. I'm starting to get real confident, man, because I'm picking it up. I think I'm getting better on here. I ain't writing nothing down. I ain't scripting nothing. This coming. I ain't got to think of no truth. You know what I'm saying? I remember all the shit I did. Real, ain't no lies about it. And I'm kind of knowledgeable on some other shit. And I don't got to jot no notes down. It sounds scripted. It sounds like a fucking B-rated movie. No, I want to keep it authentic and funky, man. So thank y'all people. Got Chicago's finest. I love you. I love you. I love you. Appreciate it. What it do? What it do? You ain't got to respect what? But you will not disrespect me. Holla back, folks. Always love.